Laura here. Just a quick heads up, in this episode we chat about mental health, experience with therapy and trauma, and medication for mental health. So I put all of my goals in my notes last time when we tried to film this 2 weeks ago and it went all pear-shaped.
Yeah.
And I cannot find them.
Shall I start us off then?
Yes. You start off while I try and find mine.
Okay,
it might be on my
that's
laptop.
fine. So-
Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm so sorry about my bashed up laptop. It's awful.
Oh, give over. Personal goal number 1 is sort out my mental health. I'm going to do, at the beginning of this year, I took up private therapy, which helped. And then it got a little bit too intense, along with trying to run a business as well. I weren't in the right mind frame to do private therapy because it works different. So I've been going to therapy in the NHS since I was 12. I'm 26 now. So what's that, 14 years? Like on and off. Like I've not done NHS therapy in maybe like 2 years. But it's different. So you have like, if you don't already know, you have like 10 1-hour sessions, and then at the end of the 10 sessions you're kind of taken off the books, and if you need it again you kind of have to be put back on the waiting list. But because they've obviously only got so many sessions, they do actually say these are more like coping mechanisms. You don't really delve into anything. It's more like strategic. It's more like CBT than counselling.
Yeah.
Was what they kind of prescribe a lot more.
They're very different, aren't they?
They are very different. But then when I started private therapy, which obviously is expensive, but I would, if you are in the position to do so, I definitely would suggest going private. Well, for me personally, and my personal experience with it is they kind of deep dive. You kind of get started at the beginning to be like, right, just talk me through your life, and then as you're kind of talking, they kind of be like, right, let's stop, let's kind of sit on that and let's figure out where this goes. So like the first 2 sessions I kind of ran through my life really quick, and then after like the third session she was like, right, let's go back to the beginning. Let's kind of in-depth go through it. And there was like bits that were coming up that I'd like subconsciously blocked out of my head. And then she kind of asked the right questions, because usually they're like, and how does that make you feel? And there wasn't any questions like that. We kind of had more of a conversation about things. Yeah, so because we was kind of going more in depth about things and kind of stripping things back rather than doing coping mechanisms, she says to me, she was like, usually the NHS kind of give you coping mechanisms, but I'm going to give you more like, let's dig deep. Let's see where the cause of the issue comes from. So then if we sort that out, hopefully it'll have a domino effect. And it'll kind of like try to like rationalize it a little bit more. We were just going through stuff, and then there were certain things that I was getting really triggered by that I didn't think were triggering, and then things that I thought would really trigger me. It turns out that wasn't. So for example, there's been some quite traumatic events happening in my life from being young that I thought were the cause of my anxiety and my depression and like my mental health and like my panic attacks and stuff. But then when we were talking, it was like, no, those traumatic things that happened were a byproduct of something else.
Right.
If that makes sense. So I started to realise like how much like I was self-sabotaging and how much I was putting myself in. Well, it was during lockdown, and like obviously like I don't live alone, so I had to make sure nobody was in the house, and sometimes people were in the house, so I couldn't necessarily have like a positive experience with that, because I was like scared about what if they heard me, because obviously there were some things that I was saying that I've never said out loud before.
You need to be in a really safe space when you're talking about stuff like that, or just in counselling in general, because need to be, it just needs to be you and that person.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be able to freely say something without thinking, oh, they might be listening or something like that. But so I ended up, it got too much, ended up quitting it, which I'm not ashamed about because it did get too much.
Yeah.
But I'd like in the new year definitely gonna do some more work on myself. I've been on quite a few different types of medication, and I find they don't really work for me, the ones that I've tried, so I do want to try and do it without the help of medication. I do find CBD oil helps.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm yet to try that. Yeah.
I've had the gummies really help, and I've had the oil. I would like to hopefully get something more high dosage.
Yeah.
Potentially. It just helps me sleep a lot more. But so that is something I want to work on, is my mental health. Yeah. I mean, everybody should be doing it anyway.
Exactly. Mental health is so important. I think sometimes with mental health, as opposed to physical health, you don't actually realise that you're suffering until you're really suffering sometimes. Even if you don't feel like you've got any mental health issues. Like you can have anxiety and depression without having anxiety and depression. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone can experience bad mental health if you've not got a disorder. Yeah. So I think it's important for everyone.
Well, it's like, I can't remember who I heard say this, but someone was like, you don't necessarily go to the gym when you're in the best shape of your life. You go when you need like a little bit of help, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like going to the gym for your brain. So you don't, I don't know how that works.
No, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
do you know what
it's not just for when you need to get better. It's good for your overall mental health.
Yeah.
Like to keep you on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not when the worst case scenario. Like, I would advise anybody doing some form of therapy.
Oh, 100%.
Whether you think you're mentally not well or...
Yeah. 100%.
So is that one of yours?
Yeah, so I'm just looking now. So it's kind of 2 in 1.
Okay.
2 in 1. 2 become 1. Spice Girls
To
vibes.
become one.
So I've got...
That
So
was
for
so
those
bad.
of you who don't know, I have definitely 110% got ADHD. I feel like everyone that knows me probably could have seen that coming a mile off, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I've definitely got inattentive ADHD, possibly combined. But the wait to get assessed on the NHS is like 3 years. So I've gone through a different I've got a different way. So I've gone through Right to Choose with Psychiatry UK. That's probably going to be at the end of next year. Yeah. Definitely after October 22.
Oh my God, what was that noise that came out? Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be at the end of 2022. I just don't know when my actual appointment's going to be. But if they come back and say it's 2023, I'm going to have to go private because I can't wait any longer.
Well, it's not just that. I think because I know some people are like, well, what do you need the diagnosis for and stuff? It just means that it will help you, and it's kind of the validation
100%
you need.
I mean,
as well.
even just realizing and self-diagnosing has helped me so much. Like, you would think that it would make me sad, like, oh God, I've got ADHD, like I've got something wrong with me, like I'm sad, like I've realized I've got, technically I've got a disability,
Ben?
but it's the best thing that's ever happened to me because now I have answers for why I struggle so much with day-to-day things that normal people wouldn't struggle with. I don't want to say normal people, sorry, that's very ableist.
No.
But yeah, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I just really want to get diagnosed properly so that I can get the right treatment, because being undiagnosed for so long, along with other traumatic events in my life, has caused me to have quite bad mental health as well. Like I was saying to you, I've just gone on antidepressants, which has really made a world of difference.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can carry on in this journey, whether it's medicated or not. This year, obviously, I need to put my mental health first before I get diagnosed.
Yeah.
And then when I get diagnosed, I 100% am going to be saying to them, give me all the medication. I want it all, because I want my mind to feel quiet. And I've made some friends since discovering that I've probably got ADHD. Well, I don't want to say probably. I know that I've got it. It's textbook, every single
checkbox you tick.
Yeah, I check every single textbook.
Checkbox, not text box.
Checkbox, yeah. My words are getting all tangled. But yeah, I've heard from people that have gone on the right medication. Obviously, sometimes it takes you a while to get the right one because there's loads out there. Because you're on stimulants. I've heard that it's like literally life-changing. And it works straight away because of stimulants. So within like half an hour, instead of, like right now I'm thinking about 6 different things. That's why I lose my train of thought so quick.
Yeah.
They're literally able to think about one thing. And it's amazing.
Because there is a Instagram account called, what's it called? I know one of the girls who runs it.
I'll probably follow him.
So it's I Am Paying Attention.
Oh my God, I've got their workbooks, their ADHD guide.
Yeah, so one of the girls who runs it, Jess, she used to have a print business, and that's how we got talking.
Yeah.
And then we used to send it to her voice notes being like, I don't think she'll remember saying this, just being like, I can't concentrate and like stuff like this. And then later on, obviously, then she found out that she got ADHD. And then I think she's quite open on that. I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
Instagram about how medications really, really helped her.
Because some people are really against it. Even people in the ADHD community, they're really against it. Like, but
I think it's like anything. I think it's like any medication. Like, it works for some people and it doesn't for others. Like my little brother has autism, and he has medication, and it works enough to take the edge off him, because he has really bad thoughts as well. So his depression and his autism battle against each other, and make them both worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he has different types of medication that he takes. He won't mind me telling you. He's very open about it. But yeah, no. So I know that it works for him. But when I was taking medication for my mental health, because I have a control issue, I feel like, hi, I'm Roxanne, and I have a control issue. Whenever I was taking the medication and I felt better, I was saying, you're only feeling better because of the medication, then I won't feel better anymore. So I know that it doesn't make me feel better. It does, but it doesn't at the same time.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So yeah, no, but I think if medication works for you and you like it, then do it.
100%. Yeah, so that's like my main goal. I just really want to make sure I'm looking after myself. Yeah. I kind of felt a little bit defeated when I had to go on antidepressants, but then I remember thinking, you're looking after yourself, and to be fair, it's the best decision I've ever made, because I've been on them for like 3-4 weeks now, and I haven't gone into like a big spiral, and I'm really hoping that it keeps them at bay. Yeah, fingers crossed. Right, do you want to go on to your next one?
My personal goal number 2 is to sort out my relationship with money, and well, it's kind of 2. So it's to sort out my relationship with money and also save up for a house deposit.
That's two becomes 1 again. Spice Girls time.
I feel really sorry because you edit these, so we both kind of take turns on different things. So like we both kind of have different jobs for this podcast that we both do. And Laura is chief editor at the moment, and I feel really sorry for you because I just keep on singing.
I'll put that in. I think it's fantastic. Everyone's gonna love it.
Before.
Wanna make love to you, baby. Sorry, I apologise.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that in as well.
Yeah, keep that in. Yeah, no, so it's like, I don't know how to say this. I don't think I deserve money. So when I have money in the bank, when I have dollars in the bank, it makes me uncomfortable, I know. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't feel like I deserve it, so I spend it all. And I feel a lot more comfortable. Is that grammar? I feel more comfortable when I've not got anything in the bank, but then I have really bad money anxiety as well, where I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any money. So I kind of like...
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, either way.
So I need to kind of learn how to be like confidence with money and be like self-worth with money. Because when it comes to... We've spoken about this before. When it comes to self-worth and pricing myself, I'm like, I know what I'm worth. But then as soon as the money comes into my bank, I'm like, I'm not worth this.
That makes me really sad.
I know. Well, this is it. This is what next year is for. It's like working on myself. And obviously, like me and Max, I mentioned in the first episode, me and Max live with Max's mum, which is great, which is amazing having her there as well. Because obviously Max, she's self-employed, so she's at home half the time. And then Max is obviously out all the time. So it's nice to have someone there and not be alone. But it's like, Max is 30 now. And like I'm 26. It's time, like soon. Like it's time to kind of start our life as a family, like me, Max and Luna. Luna's the dog.
3 Musketeers.
3 Musketeers. I know, but it's just so expensive, and it's hard because obviously we're both self-employed. It's hard to get a mortgage, and it's hard to kind of get, because obviously I don't have. He has kind of stability because he has the same customers all the time because he does gardens. Whereas I can do a job for someone and they never come back to me because it was just like, oh, I just need this one-off thing doing. Whereas, so it's that as well. It's kind of getting the stability there, getting my self-worth up, having some savings, because that's it. I can't save, so I need to have some savings and have that little financial security blanket there, which I'm hoping that quitting the shop will do that.
Well, maybe as well, like, a lot of it is because you feel like you don't deserve the money. Maybe that's something that will come to you when you're working on your mental health as well. Like, if you do go back to therapy, that might be something that definitely. You can, two become one again. Together.
Okay, we need to stop doing that now. We've milked that for all that it's
I think, do you know what? That is kind of one of my personal goals, to be better with money as well. But I've not got it on there because that's, spoiler alert, going to be my big goal.
Yeah.
My big goal. We've got one goal each at the end. Spoiler alert, I won't say any more. But I'm very impulsive with money. That also comes with ADHD, being very impulsive. It's like when I'm feeling down, straight away, what's going to make me feel better? You don't have as much dopamine in your brain, like hardly any. And like when you impulse buy, your dopamine goes whoop. So if I'm ever feeling really down, that's what I do. It's really bad.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
It's that
like,
instant satisfaction of spending your money, and then you're like,
yeah, let me buy another plant that I don't need that I'm going to kill. And I feel amazing. Like, genuinely, though, it makes me feel amazing. You know when you feel elated here, like in your chest?
Yeah.
Makes me feel like that when I buy a
like
plant.
that with shoes.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I know.
Nice.
Is that, do you want to say your number
So,
two?
yeah, that's not technically. That was just me adding on to yours. So, and I feel like you're probably going to want to jump onto mine as well. I am going to pass my driving test this year.
Hallelujah. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I'm going to pass my driving test.
Yep. Yes, you are.
And I'm going to have a car. Maybe
Yes,
not
we
straight
are.
away, but I want a car by the end of the year.
Yeah,
and
a
it's
pink one.
Yeah, it's going to be a pink convertible. No, not necessarily. I mean, any car will do. But if it's a pink convertible,
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Well, we've both had different experiences with driving. So sorry, I don't mean to put in.
Oh my God, I butt into yours. You go ahead. This is meant to be a conversation. Let's have a conversation.
So I did a 5-day intensive course in July of 2021. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the driving and the instructor. It was the company that I used kind of messed us around a little bit and was kind of blaming each other to each other. It was weird. It was a whole weird situation. But yeah, no, so I got learned how to drive and I was doing really, really well because I struggled to learn over a period of time. I like to do intensive stuff.
Yeah.
So like if I want to learn how to edit a video, I will spend 3 days solid editing a video to learn how to do it. I won't do like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Like I need, because I struggle with my attention span. So if something takes me too long to make or too long to do, I lose all interest in it. So I have to do it in a small time frame. Otherwise I just cannot concentrate on it.
That sounds ADHD to me. Me too. You like hyperfocus. You've got a hyperfocus on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not saying you've got ADHD, right? I'm not trying to diagnose you. You can have ADHD symptoms and not have ADHD, by the way. Just so you know, before, you diagnose yourself from my experience.
Your experience.
But
yeah, no, so I enjoyed the intensive course, ended up getting a practical test in, which was by some miracle. And then I decided to drive on the wrong side of the road. To be fair, the road that I went down, that I drove on the wrong side of, it looked like a one-way road. And she was like, turn right. So I did. And she was like, you do realise that you're on the wrong side of the road? And I was like, it's one-way road. She was like, no, it isn't. She was like, I'm going to take you back now. Because obviously during COVID, you can't be in the car for longer than what you need to. So as soon as you fail, you fail. And I was only in the car 15 minutes.
That's devastating.
But yeah, carry on with you and your driving lessons.
Yeah, so I'm doing it quite slowly. I'm doing complete opposite to you. Instead of once a week, I'm doing it once every 2 weeks. Yeah, so I've only just gone on Brooklyn's roundabout. And it was all right.
If you're from Sale or if you know Brooklyn's roundabout,
it was like turn left, but not the first left.
There's like 7 different exits and like 3 different roads, and it's some of them are kind of behind each other, and the other one's being like, right, so if you turn left now, you'll go in on a completely different direction, but if you turn down this little alley, it's stress-inducing.
I didn't like it, and he didn't even tell me that I was going to go on it. He just went, take the next left, and then I saw the roundabout, and he was like, okay, so you're not going to take the first left, you're going to take the next left. And I thought, oh my God, I really panicked, and I was like, I didn't indicate. And he was like, it's fine. It was too quick, you don't need to. And I was thinking, I don't need to. It's a bit confused. But yeah, I'm doing it every 2 weeks. I'm hoping maybe early next year I can get a pass.
Yeah.
Like before like March time. I hope so anyway.
You are. You pick up things quite easily. You are very good at stuff like that.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know, because every time I get in the car, I'm like, I forget what I'm doing. He has to tell me that you need to put your clutch down and then you need to do this.
Yeah, but there'll be a certain... Because with me, I was the same, and then there was a certain time when I just did it.
I've got a good instructor, Ken. He's lovely. Yeah, he's great. I can recommend you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your next one? Wait, are we on number 3 now?
Yeah, so my second one was driving. No, we're on number 4. Sort out mental health.
Number 4.
Relationship with money, drive. And number 4 is get engaged.
Woo. Sorry, that was really childish.
I get so, thinking when I talk about it. But yeah, no, me and Max have been together a while now, 8 years. I don't, because I know that some people don't subscribe to that. They don't really, not really about marriage and stuff like that. But I think for me personally, it's just the legal stability it brings with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It does.
Because you never really know what's going to happen. I know it sounds really cynical, and this is just a little insight into my brain. You never really know what's going to happen to somebody, and if something was to happen, I'd like to legally be involved. I don't know how
rights. You want rights.
Well, yeah, I want rights, and I think it'd be really nice because it's obviously the next step in our relationship, and I don't know how to explain it. I just want a wedding. I want a white dress. I want a party.
And that is valid.
That's
all valid.
I know. I feel like... Sometimes I feel like not a feminist because I'm like, I just want to be wooed. I want to be picked up by him, and I want him to...
That doesn't make you not a feminist.
I know it doesn't. I know. But yeah, I just want a nice sparkly ring. I want something vintage. I've already told him this. I've dropped so many hints. He's like, Roxanne, these are not hints anymore. These are just... You keep on just sending me pictures. I've said to him, I want something vintage. I want something nice and cool looking. I'm not really desperate for a conventional engagement ring, a white diamond with silver, if it's coloured, that's pretty funky. I don't know. I just want to get engaged. I just think I'm ready now.
Stage, yeah.
I'm ready for that next kind of commitment because we have a dog, so that's pretty committed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think it'd be nice just to get all of our family members together on different sides of the family, because it sounds awful, but unless it's a funeral.
Nobody really gets together.
Or a wedding. Nobody really gets together. So I'm thinking I'd like to get all my family together and Max's family meet my family. But yeah. What about you?
In terms of marriage or my next goal?
Either or. Is marriage on the
let's
cards
not get
for you?
into that.
Should we say that a bit loud because your boyfriend's next door? Should we say that dead loud?
So I've put as my third one, I want to invest more time in friendships and socialise more. I know that it's really good for me. I'm an extrovert. I really thrive in social situations, and when I walk away from a social situation, if I've just met up with friends, I feel elated. I just love it. So I know that I work at the pub and I'm doing the markets, but I would really like to invest more time in friendships and build friendships a bit more, and spend time with people that I love, because I do have a tendency to especially if I'm feeling really down, shut myself off. Obviously a couple of weeks ago, before I went on my tablets, I really shut myself off and it was really bad. And I need to learn to let go, be able to speak to people about things, and really try my hardest to be good at texting people back.
Well, it's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
And just meet up with people and enjoy myself, and because I know it's really good for me and it makes me feel good. It's hard to get out the door sometimes.
Yeah.
But I just need to give myself that push to get out the door so that I can have a great time.
As soon as you're out of the door, it's fine. It's we went out for my birthday. We wanted to go for a quiet meal, but we didn't realise the restaurant turned into a club at 9:00. As soon as we got handed our food, DJ was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really have big groups of friends. So I kind of have one friend, but quite a few one friends, if that makes sense. So I'm friends with you, and then it's me and you, and then I'm friends with Sophie and friends with Shelby, and it's always one-on-one things, because group things freak me out a little bit. But I'm kind of learning as I'm getting older. It's kind of less about the group and it's more about the people. Mm-hmm. So we went out for my birthday, and we didn't realise that the restaurant turned into a club after 9:00. So that was great. So it was just me, you, Sophie and Shelby. So it was nice to have us all together and like have like my 3 individual friends like in a same room, and we all really got on.
That's what it's going to be like at your wedding. Bring everyone together.
I know, Max, if you're listening, hint, hint, hint. I've just picked my nose. If you're watching the video, you've just seen me pick my nose. So it's about that. So it is great, but you've had quite a few big groups of friends, haven't you?
Yeah, growing up, I definitely had a lot of big groups of friends. I had a big group of friends in uni, which is sort of dispersed now, which makes me really sad. And now I'm sort of in the same situation as you, where I've got a lot of singular friends, but I've got a lovely group actually. I did used to do blogging, not anymore. You can't find it anywhere, so don't try and search for it. I've deleted it. But I had like a blog group of friends where we all used to go to like blog events together, like PR events, and we've all stayed in contact actually. So it's nice. Like we don't really see each other a lot, but we'll always message in the groups, and like if someone's having a crisis or someone's going through something, or if there's something on social media, we'll like chat about it and stuff.
Well, that's it. That's something that I think we learn to do as we get older. We kind of like, yeah, you're my friend, but if we don't speak to each other, so like me and Shelby go like months without speaking, then all of a sudden I'll get a phone call off her and she's like, should we go somewhere? And I'm like, yeah. And it's just kind of, but we both understand that we're both busy, and we'll both touch base every now and again. Just to be like, you're right, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Sick, right, I'll speak to you again in another couple of weeks.
They're the kind of friendships that I absolutely love, where you don't see each other in a long time, and then when you see each other again, it's like it was yesterday.
She's my longest friend that I've ever had. I think we've been friends now for like 6-7 years.
Good going.
But yeah, I think it's that. I think because we both give each other space to grow.
Yeah.
I do love her. Yeah. Shelby, I know you're listening to this. I do love you, my girl.
Well, I hope you're listening to this,
well,
Shelby.
Yeah, if you're not, I'm offended.
Well, she'll never know. She'll never hear this.
She'll never hear it if not.
Yeah, so that's my last personal goal. I want to invest more time in friendships and people that I love, and get myself out there, because it's been a tough couple of years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a tough couple of years, but we're getting there. Hopefully I mean, you probably know already, touch wood, we don't have another lockdown.
I hope we've had Christmas. I hope we didn't get Christmas taken.
No, we won't have. They can't do that after the Christmas party disaster.
Oh God, have you seen all the memes about that? Have you seen the one where it's Ricky Gervais and he's like, no, of course not, and then he goes in partying.